Everyone knows the Black Horse Bar and Grill does excellent Friday fish. But have you tried Saturday night? Thick cuts of juicy prime ribs served with all the fixings. And after dinner, check out their live entertainment. Visit blackhorsebarandgrillmn.com for a full schedule. Don't forget to join the Black Horse for their daily lunch specials Wednesday through Sunday starting at 11 a.m. Looking for a great location to host a banquet, wedding, or party? Call the Black Horse now at 507-474-9600 to schedule your next event. The Black Horse Bar and Grill, now under new management. Sunshine Refuse is your locally owned and operated choice for trash removal in the Winona and surrounding communities. Owner Tony Buckland built Sunshine Refuse on service, and he and his crew put the needs of their customers first, as your satisfaction is their #1 priority, and you can see it in their work. Put a little sunshine in your day. Call Sunshine Refuse at 507-452-5107 and start your service today. You'll be happy that you did.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Explore the Outdoors with HBC. I'm your host Alyssa Kozak, and as you can see it's starting to look a little bit more like spring and getting into the summer stages, so why don't we head out to the Black Horse Bar and Grill and test out our volleyball skills for the Summer Volleyball League. Thanks for joining me, Kelly. First off, how long have you been the coordinator of the Black Horse Volleyball League, and who makes up the teams?
I've been doing this for about 8 years. I've been the coordinator. Sand volleyball is usually last week of April through the last week of August, and we also have a fall league just due September, October. It's co-ed, it's men's, it's women's. We have 71 teams between Monday and Tuesday night, which are co-ed. We have 22 teams on Wednesday night, which is women's. And then Thursday we have men's, which we have 10 teams. So this year I'm proud to say we have 103 teams. My goal has always been 100. And last year we got 99. This year I got 103. So.
Why do you like playing volleyball?
It's just a good way to get out, and then it's activity after work, lets you let loose. It's just a fun time to hang out with friends, and then it's just a fun time and hone my skills.
Who can play on these teams?
It's anyone that wants to play volleyball. They have to register a team, which is at least 4 players. You can have up to 10 on a roster. For the co-ed, it's men's, women's, then you have to have so many of each. Anybody that wants to come out and play volleyball. We have divisions A through D normally on a night. So A is your competitive, know how to set spike or set bump spike. C, D are your lower divisions where they're here to have a good time and just get some good exercise and have some fun with friends.
I'd say just sign up as a sub at least. You can get in there, get a couple rounds in, see if you like it. If you don't like it, you can always sit out and just join a team with a full roster and you should be all right.
Why is it such a great sport to be involved with?
I think the best thing is besides exercise, but the camaraderie of people, and you get to know so many people. With 4 players on a team and there's 35 teams tonight, that's over 100 people here, and you meet so many people. And it's good exercise, and for those who love volleyball like myself, it's everything. You get your exercise, you get to play good volleyball, and you meet people. It's just fun.
Colin, can you tell me about your experience with the Black Horse Bar and Grill?
Well, I'm from Winona. I've been here my whole life. I've known about the Black Horse forever. I go out there, see people I know. It's always nice running into old people and just kind of catching up real quick on the volleyball court. And that's another great benefit of playing volleyball.
When should people come out and why?
Monday night is co-ed, Tuesday night is co-ed, Wednesday is women's, Thursday is men's. So Monday through Thursday.
And what time does it usually start?
We start 5:30. Last games are at 8:30, usually done by 9:30.
It's just an entertaining atmosphere. It's great to support the local teams, and then like you said before, I mean, you can kind of get some experience watching and see
if you have friends that are playing, come out and watch. It's good food, have a few drinks, watch your friends play volleyball. It's just something to do, and be outside in the weather. It's beautiful now. I was kind of worried we'd have snow. So yeah, it's just great.
Is Summer League sign up done?
Summer is done. We have a deadline, usually middle of March. And after that deadline, if there's still room, then we take teams. They have to pay a late fee because it does take a good month to organize and put everything together and get everything set. You know, so all the schedules, all the leagues are set.
If someone wants to start up a team, do you have a fall league?
We do a fall league, which is co-ed, and it runs first week of September through the last week of October. It's just 2 months on Thursday nights. So I'm already advertising that, and teams can register for that at any time.
Come on out, check it out. It's a good time, and get your team together for next year.
So, if you made a team for the Fall League, feel free to contact Kelly at thbag2011@yahoo.com. As you can see, I'm not the best at playing volleyball, but I encourage every one of you guys to come on out to the Black Horse Bar and Grill and check out the scenery, have some food, some drinks, and even maybe watch me play volleyball or the other teams. There's always something going on out there on those sand volleyball courts, and it's a great time had by all.
Everyone knows the Black Horse Bar and Grill does excellent Friday fish. But have you tried Saturday night? Thick cuts of juicy prime ribs served with all the fixings. And after dinner, check out their live entertainment. Visit blackhorsebarandgrillmn.com for a full schedule. Don't forget to join the Black Horse for their daily lunch specials Wednesday through Sunday starting at 11 a.m. Looking for a great location to host a banquet, wedding, or party? Call the Black Horse now at 507-474-9600 to schedule your next event. The Black Horse Bar and Grill, now under new management.
Don't miss out on highlights and score updates from your favorite local college and high school athletics by following HBC TV 25 Sports. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to get up-to-date information on all the games covered by the HBC sports team. Grab your smartphone and add us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at HBC TV 25 Sports.
At Midtown Foods, we know it's not just about getting groceries. It's about friendly faces, fresh produce, quality cuts of meat, and experienced employees. We know because we shop here too. Midtown Foods, Winona's largest locally owned grocery store, downtown Winona.
So it's in the middle of wild turkey hunting season, and what better way to prepare than head on down to Lacrosse Archery and get our bow and arrows and everything else you need to get that big turkey.
So Lacrosse Archery, this is actually our 10-year anniversary, is this month. So we're celebrating it in July. It's just as we gear up for the season, we have a lot more impact in July and a lot more people get to celebrate with us. So 10 years ago, it was 2008, just before the huge recession. That recession happened in the fall of 2008 for those people that were working and remember. It wasn't the worst time to start a business, but it was probably the second worst time ever that you could ever plan for it. So Keith and Laura Rosenthal purchased the store at that time, transitioned a lot of things on the interior. We changed the experience for the customer, changed our services a little bit too. We're an archery-specific, archery-only store, and that's something that isn't very common anymore. It seems like of a lot of archery shops that are gun stores and fishing and camping, kind of like the jack-of-all-trades stores and a box store, and we're the opposite of that. Our customers are very specific, whether they're archery people or bow hunting people or outdoorsmen. There's a lot of different avenues inside of that, but we're archery specific only. So it's pretty unique. So it's been 10 years of that.
When are you celebrating your 10-year anniversary?
So that's on July 21st is our 10-year anniversry. So we're having a lot of fun. We're going to have a pig out front. We're going to smoke the pig. It's a 20-hour process, I'm told. We have a couple friends that are going to help us with it. We're going to have a few manufacturers here too. So the three big manufacturers in our industry, Matthews, Bowtech, and Hoyt, are the big bow manufacturers. So they're going to be here with us to celebrate. In our big range, we're actually setting up a big trade show, like a miniature trade show, so people get to interact with manufacturers that they've never talked to or never seen, and ask technical questions or sales ability questions. It'll be a pretty good time.
What is special about lacrosse archery?
Yeah, so when we say lacrosse archery, it's obvious that we're archery. We don't do other things like fishing and hunting and camping like what we've talked about. But the fun thing about our business is that we have a lot of bow hunters that are outdoorsmen, and we have a lot of archers that aren't bow hunters either. So there's not so much divide between our customer base, because if you're an archer, you might be a bow hunter. If you're a bow hunter, you might be an archer. So we have recreational archery. Like if you look around in this room, it says nothing about hunting. We have kids' birthday parties, corporate team building events, things like that have everything to do with the sport and not necessarily the act of hunting. And then we have hunting depending on our seasonal business too. So to answer the question, there's a lot of different avenues within archery. We have crossbow, recurve, compound archery, a lot of different avenues to get into it. It's similar to if you have the conversation about firearms, gun hunting, there's also the whole sport of 3-gun tournaments and other sportsman's tournaments that have nothing to do with hunting either. So same kind of thing with archery. So super accepting of a lot of different avenues of it.
Can you tell me more about the ranges you have here at the shop?
So we're one of the archery shops that actually doesn't require a special membership, or you don't have to be part of a club to be part of it. When our doors are open, our ranges too. So we have 3 archery ranges all the way through our business. We're sitting in the academy room right now, and that's just a 20-yard max. And we have bales that are adjustable from 0 yards all the way out to 20. In the middle of our store, we have a techno hunt. So it's a big Xbox video game for the most part. So no kidding, you go in there with your bow and with your arrows. You turn the screen on, and it's like watching the Outdoor Channel and then shooting at the screen. It's a big projection screen. So it's in a league setting or just in a fun environment where it scores your arrow. It tells you how fast the arrow is going. It's really competitive. We've used it for bachelor parties many times too. You can imagine a few of the guys just have fun in there and go back and forth, and it's super competitive if you want it to be. And then we have a big range. So our large range is about 20 lanes wide and 35 yards deep at the max point. There's a ton of opportunity to sight in your bow to make sure that your pins are set properly. And the best thing is this time of year it's a controlled environment. So it's not 32 degrees under the wind chill. There's no wind. You're in an environment that's easy to control. So when you have to make adjustments on your equipment, you know that they're perfect.
How much is it to use the ranges?
Anybody can use it. Yeah, the ranges are only $5 per half hour per person. It's not something that you have to reserve. You can just come on in and use them.
Do you have opportunities to rent?
Absolutely, yeah. So our rental equipment is super affordable too. If you're coming off the street, it's only $5 per person. That includes arrows and the bow. And then you just pay your range time on top of that. So $5 for the rental and then $5 for a half hour of shooting. For a date night for a couple or just a guy or a girl to come in and experience it, it's super inexpensive.
What are the different types of archery?
Yeah, so if we start in the beginning, recurve archery was a big thing from day one, really in prehistoric times, all the way through the 1950s and 60s. And that is just a piece of wood that you grab onto and a string that you pull back, and you're supposed to look at the arrow or look at the target and estimate where you're supposed to let go. So it's very primitive. There's a lot of traditionalist archers that love it just because it is so basic. And there's more art than skill to it. Maybe more art than anything else, I guess. Skill's probably not the right term. With compound archery, it's a bow that has a cam on it. So as you pull it back, you might pull 70 pounds, but when you're at full draw, you're only holding 10 or 15. So it's easier to relax. It's easier to be more consistent. Some people use mechanical style releases to let go of the arrow. It's just a little bit more of a step up as far as how to be consistent at further distance. So you have traditional archery, you have compound, and then the new introduction in Wisconsin from a few years ago is crossbow hunting. So a crossbow is a compound bow that's horizontal. So it looks and feels a little bit more like a longer range weapon. Crossbows that we've seen give a little bit more of an ability to shoot further in different weather conditions too. If it's cold and snowing and windy, it's much easier to shoot a compound at a specific distance than it is a recurve or a compound, a crossbow rather. So it's a little bit more fun and exciting that way, depending on your avenue to the sport.
What is the accuracy like for the different types?
Yeah, I would think it depends a little bit more on the archer. There are some competitive archers around the country that shoot 2 to 3 inch groups at 100 yards, sometimes better, so just incredibly accurate. Crossbows are a little bit easier to be more consistent with, but generally speaking, they are a little bit louder. So depending on what kind of archer you are, if you like to hunt or if you just like to target shoot, there's certainly an application for everybody too, and certainly an opinion that fulfills that. But there's a lot of different consistencies by product. I would say traditional archery is the most difficult to be consistent with. It requires the most amount of practice. Compounds are a little bit easier, and crossbows are easier than that too.
How do you find the right bow with the right fit for someone?
It's not so much the right bow as it is the right fit. So you answered that question by saying it too. So based on your height, based on your draw length, and your pull weight, that determines what fits you the best, not necessarily a product. So when people come off the street and say, hey, I want the best bow, there is no such thing. There's a lot of opinions that we have in what we shoot, whether it's a Matthews or a Bowtech or a Hoyt. But really at the end of the day, we need something that fits you. And if it doesn't fit you, you're not going to have great success with it. So the fit process, like golf clubs, how that works too, it's a big part of it.
Why do you say you believe everyone can enjoy the sport of archery?
So it's not like football or tennis where you have to be coordinated or you have to be an athlete or you have to be popular, even for that matter. I think we all have a story from high school where you had to be a specific height to play a sport or you had to be a specific weight to play wide receiver or whatever that may be. And archery is extremely accepting of a lot of different lifestyles and abilities. So when it comes to archery, if you're 8 years old and you're in elementary school and you walk in, we have coaches and classes specifically for that. And you might not have any prior history with archery at all, but it's just a skill and a talent that you learn through a coach. Or it can be a self-taught thing too. So archery, depending on the age, it's wide open. It's a sport that you can shoot from 80 to 80. You can shoot it your entire life, and that's why it's such a good lifestyle sport.
How can you get started in archery?
Yeah, so Lacrosse Archery has something called the Archery Academy. It's something that's a completely different division of our business. If you walk into our store, you might see hunting bows that are camouflage colored and different hunting gear and things like that. If you walk through the business in the room that we're sitting in right now, this is where we host all those special events. So we have intro classes for young adults, kids, adults, men and women, any age, all the way through. And then we have developmental classes. So in college, we always heard the term 101. Or 801 or whatever it may be. We have the same style 4-week class with Archery 101 through that too. So that's step 2, and then step 3 is our Junior Olympic Archery Development Team. So we have a coach that teaches specifically the skills required to compete within different divisions of the sport. It's a team-based setting. So when you think about archery, a lot of people think of it as just a single person event. JOAD, the acronym for Junior Olympic Archery Development, has everything to do with classes shooting together and then competing together too. So it's a little bit more of a team atmosphere and environment. Men and women, boys and girls, throughout a lot of different age groups too. So a lot of options when it comes to it.
How much can you expect to pay when you start up?
Yeah, so there's a lot of different ways to answer that question. I would say, bare bones, if you want to get into archery, spending $300 is more than attainable. To do it right and have equipment that lasts longer, that's made in the USA, that has a lifetime warranty, there's a few different components to that, but I would say right around $500, and that includes all the arrows and a release and a bow case, everything just to get started. What we're shooting is the Mission Sniper Light. It's the lightest crossbow that we have in here, and it's made in Sparta, Wisconsin. So the unique part about crossbows and the challenging part is that they're a little bit longer and they're super heavy. This guy we can treat almost like a handgun, where we just grab onto it and hold it straight out, so it's super light. It's the biggest advantage to this weapon. So what we're going to do today is experience it.
Okay.
So I'm going to pull it back for you the first time. I might have you try the second time just to see if you can pull it. So we have a sled in front. All right, so we're going to treat this just like the shotgun you tried a couple weeks ago, okay? So are you left-handed or right-handed?
Right.
Okay, so put the stock in your right shoulder.
Okay.
So if you can imagine, put it right here, right in the, yep, crest a little bit lower yet.
Or like right
Perfect,
here?
yep.
Okay.
All right, and see if you can look through the scope. So your eye's not gonna be quite that close. Move it back, there you go, perfect. So if you wanna put your left hand right here on the bag, that way it's a little bit out of the way.
So, oh, there it is.
Yeah, perfect. So can you see the lines inside of it?
Yeah.
So what we're going to be looking for is the very top line.
Okay.
Where that very top line crosses is your 20-yard mark.
Okay.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is load you up. And mind you, the bow is always on safety so far, so even if you pull the trigger, nothing can happen.
Okay.
But when you're ready, I'll show you where the safety is.
So I
So
want
it's-
to line up the top line with where do I want to line?
Exactly, yep. So that very top crosshair, so if
Yeah.
you can imagine where the crosshairs are at, you're looking for the first intersection.
And line that up with the yellow down there.
I'd say put it right in the middle of the red.
Right.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
cool.
Okay.
All right, so let's take it off from safety to fire. So that's right back here. So whenever you're ready, just push that forward.
This?
Yep. Either side is fine.
There you go.
There you go. So
Okay.
remember where that left hand is, one a little bit lower yet. There you go. All right.
Oh, man, I'm nervous.
Nice. It's pretty sweet, right?
That is pretty sweet.
Yeah.
I mean, I totally missed the center.
You hit the red. We were going for the red. So I'm going to string it up for you
Perfect.
and then explain how to do this the easiest way. So the most important thing is that we're not going to put pressure on our low back when we pull it. The idea is just to stand straight up and then pull the last couple inches.
Okay.
So you're going to put your left foot right up on top of the stirrup. You're going to grab onto the handles, stand up, and then pull.
Okay.
So two separate motions, okay?
So right here.
Perfect. And then keep a fair amount of your body weight on your left foot too, so it doesn't come up at you.
Okay.
Okay. And now pull really hard. It gets easier now, right?
Yeah.
There you go. That's 150 pounds.
Okay, good.
You're an animal. All right.
And then how do I take these off? Oh.
Perfect. Just like that. Yep. They pop right off.
Okay.
Cool. So I'll grab the bow. I'll have you have a seat again.
Okay, so how do we break there?
So the idea with archery is consistency. So the more consistent we can be, the better group that we'll have. And shooting at 20 yards right now, as soon as that arrow hits, we're going to try to aim for the same arrow again and see how close we are.
Okay.
So we might be able to hit another arrow with another arrow.
Oh man.
I know. So the pressure's on.
Yeah. No pressure.
No pressure.
Okay, so I'll
Yep.
look first.
Okay.
Okay. Safety.
Yep. There you go. Super basic, but this is actually made out of high modulus carbon, so it's really stiff. It lasts a long time, so even if you leave this in a car, it's not going to warp. It's not going to flake off. This is the field point at the very end. You can detach these and put hunting points on, or big snarrow points used for bird shooting. Bunch of crazy different options. And this is your fletching in back. So this is what allows the arrow to stabilize and guide when it's windy, or if you make a bad shot, it corrects some of that poor arrow flight too. A million different colors. I thought blue was the right choice, so that's what we're doing.
Perfect.
All right, and your bow. So you are right-handed. You're shooting the crossbow right-handed. So you're going to grab onto this guy with your left hand,
Okay.
and as we pull back, it comes to the draw length and the height that you're based on, and I put it down to poundage that should be comfortable for you too.
About
So
150 pounds?
not quite that, maybe just under 100.
Okay.
So there's a couple components on the string that we're going to walk through. The first arrow I want to shoot just to explain how it looks, how it should feel, and that's where we're going to go from there.
Okay.
Okay?
Sounds good.
Okay, so the release goes on your right hand, so if you fold your thumb underneath, it tightens down just like a belt.
Okay.
You don't want it super tight, but you want it tight enough where it's not going to slide forward on your hand. And it tucks right under. Once we get started, the most important thing, just like firearm safety, is that the arrow is always pointed downrange. So we want to look in the ceiling to make sure our shooter safety system is on, and since it's green, that means go. And go means that we can shoot. So all you're going to have to do is pull that trigger open. Notice how that jaw opens, and it hooks right on top of that string loop.
Okay.
So as we pull back, we want to make sure our finger is behind that. That way we're not accidentally shooting a little bit too quick. So I know I'm throwing a lot of stuff at you. It's going to be a little bit too
nervous.
absorbed, but as soon as we pull back, we're going to pull back until it stops. This kisser button goes right in the corner of your mouth. That's going to go right in the corner of your mouth, and it's going to allow you to look through that circle.
Okay.
So as you pull back, there's actually an oval, but as soon as you pull back at the right angle, it's a full circle.
Okay.
That circle is going to line up with that white circle. Your top pin is the only one that we're looking at.
Okay.
So we'll see how close we are once we get back there. So thumb underneath, perfect, and then tighten it down just like you do on a belt.
That tight, you think?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh man.
Does it feel weird yet?
Yeah, kinda.
Good. Okay. If it felt normal, that'd be like super odd. But all right. So I'm gonna knock the arrow for you the first time. Every time we knock an arrow on this bow, the white vein has to be straight down.
Why is that?
It clears the rest the best. So if you watch in slow motion as that vein comes through, notice there's no friction.
Yeah.
If we went with one straight up, it would hit right here and it would deflect the flight of the arrow.
Okay.
So we're gonna go with the white vein straight down. Grab on with your left hand. I'm gonna get out of the way so I don't get shot.
Good call.
Yeah, so you corrected your feet. Your feet look perfect, just like you're golfing.
Okay.
So you wanna make sure they're shoulder width apart.
Okay.
Your left foot, try to angle open a little bit. Cool, you're good to go.
Should I grab?
Just like that, perfect, yep. And a finger behind that trigger.
Should this be fully extended? My left arm?
We'll correct that once you get back to full draw.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So hold your left arm straight out and then pull against. So keep pulling, keep pulling. Nice.
Okay.
All right, so can you see through that peep sight?
Yeah.
Can you see your red pin?
Yeah.
Put your red pin right in the middle and then slowly pull on the trigger.
Slowly. Where's the trigger?
There you go. Nice. That was great.
Wow.
Good shot. It's a weird feeling the first time.
Weird feeling.
Yeah, so now you're through the worst of it.
Yeah.
So I'll load you up.
Okay.
Elevate your HBC TV experience with the latest technology to hit your whole home entertainment system. Record up to 6 programs simultaneously and save up to 350 hours of your favorite shows. Pause a program you're watching in one room and pick right up where you left off in another. Video on demand, wireless set-top boxes and mobile device streaming, apps including Alexa, Netflix, YouTube, and more. Call 888-474-9995 to learn more or visit hbci.com/elevate today. Everyone knows the Black Horse Bar and Grill does excellent Friday fish. But have you tried Saturday night? Thick cuts of juicy prime ribs served with all the fixings. And after dinner, check out their live entertainment. Visit blackhorsebarandgrillmn.com for a full schedule. Don't forget to join the Black Horse for their daily lunch specials Wednesday through Sunday starting at 11 a.m. Looking for a great location to host a banquet, wedding, or party? Call the Black Horse now at 507-474-9600 to schedule your next event. The Black Horse Bar and Grill, now under new management.
Thank you for joining Explore the Outdoors with HBC. Tonight we had a great episode where we went out to the volleyball courts at the Black Horse Bar and Grill and tested out our volleyball skills. Not the best, but by the end of summer I will be better, promise you that. And we also went down to lacrosse archery and tested out our shooting skills with the bow and arrow. Stay tuned for next week as we head out to Wild Turkey Hunt, where hopefully I'll get a turkey, fingers crossed, but stay tuned for next week, see if I get that turkey. Thanks again for joining us on Explore the Outdoors with HBC.